Yo, I got a quick little vlog for y'all. A little topic. I actually tried to do this vlog yesterday, but I was on my way to Spiegel, and I misjudged the amount of time that I had to do it. Like, I started that shit like down by the Manhattan Bridge, and then next thing you know it, I'm already at Spiegel, and I have no time to finish it. Like, alright, fuck this traffic. What the fuck is this? Got a conga line going on? This video probably will come out before the Spiegel trip. Went down to Spiegel, met up with 188 Octane, 2J Riders, Ducati NYC, Ali K Rebel, Life Unloaded. The guys from Life Unloaded were there. Is that a YZF? Nah, we gotta chase him down. Fuck, come on. That looked like a YZF 600R, and I have to see if it is. Nah, we gotta catch up with homie. Nah, it looks like an old R6 actually. Yeah, I can tell by the tail lights. No, that's a 600R. Yo, you never see these around anymore. I thought I was the only one that had one. Yeah. Nice. Huh? 99. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I saw you. I was like, nah, I gotta see if it's a YZF. Because I never see him. Yeah. Alright, man. Sure enough, it was a YZF. We out here. Alright, so what are we doing? Yeah, I'm on my way to the bank, and then I'm on my way to the gym. Although I might just hit the bank when I leave the gym. Fuck it. Why not? But nah, here I am getting off topic again. But yeah, so what happened was on Hit Us Up live stream, they were talking about bike work. That was the latest one. The one today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. So last week they were talking about doing bike work and shit. So everybody gave their opinions. It was the Fobra, Clutch First, and BX Polymath. And then they had a guest on. I think his name was like Red One. So yeah, everybody gave their opinions and shit. And as I was listening, because I was listening at work, I was like, damn, this is a live stream that I wish I was on, because I actually got a lot of experience with bike work, and I got like strong opinions about it too. Because like I have to preface it with the type of person that I am. Like, I'm the type of person who like often, well not often, always buys fucking needs work bikes. So like the two bikes that I've owned have always been in rough condition, because you know, you get a pretty good deal on relatively rough bikes. Fuck, this is a mess. That's how you deal with a mess, I guess. Got bones for days, man. That group is so fucking colorful, I love it. So should we hit the bank or no? Fuck it, we going right. That fucking cop is gonna turn around and bust my nuts. What are you doing, guy? Is he gonna sell water to me at 50 miles per hour? What's going on? I'm creeping up on the gym, so I'm gonna have to fucking finish this vlog. Why can't I stay on topic? What the fuck is wrong with me? But yeah, man, I always buy needs work bikes. So like, if I see a bike and the price is like, you know, like nice and low, the engine runs, the bike stops, the bike has brakes, the bike has good tires, and then, you know, it's a bike I wouldn't hesitate to pick up, as long, like, you know, considering that there might be some issues with like lights and with like, you know, small things that can be fixed afterwards. I typically don't really mind. You know, you got the typical maintenance shit, you know, changing tires. I wouldn't even categorize changing tires as typical, but I mean more like changing headlight bulbs, oil changes, coolant changes. That's shit that you should do yourself. Like, under no circumstances should you really take your bike to the shop to change the oil, unless it's free with something else, you know. Like that might be a little bit overkill to pay somebody to change the oil or the coolant, because it's really not that hard. Now, generally speaking, the streams seem to agree that, you know, basic shit like that, like basic seasonal maintenance, is stuff that you should do by yourself. Now, when it came to like hardcore shit, like you know, fork seals, valve adjustments, all that type of stuff, they said that you should take it to a shop if you don't have expertise. And in my experience, that's typically how I gain the expertise. thought that was a Koenigsegg. In the corner of my eye, I'm like, a Koenigsegg? What the fuck? That was a Corvette, though. He just ran the fuck out of that light. Damn. But yeah, so I mean, I thought I would just speak on my experience doing bike work. So when I bought my Honda Rebel, the shit needed a lot of work visually. Like, the bike engine was solid. Like, the transmission was solid, except the clutch slipped. And I never replaced that because I just didn't see it was worth it. Because the bike wasn't that powerful anyway. So like when I first bought it, you know, I did this, like the bike was air cooled, so it didn't have coolant. So I did the oil change almost immediately because I felt like the bike was running a bit hot. Well, I didn't really have a point of reference back then, but like in my head, I felt like the bike was running hot. So changed the oil. The oil was like black as tar. You know, put some fresh golden oil. That's like the best feeling ever. You replace the oil on your bike and like you put like this beautiful shiny golden stuff into it. Soot and metal filled nastiness. Just dump that shit in the nearest river. Nah, I'm just joking. You redeem it at their nearest auto parts store, blah blah blah, whatever. I passed the gym, by the way. I'm just like fucking, oh, we gotta make this like fuck. Gotti. Watch my first endo. Ready? A little bit. I feel like if I did an endo and I came back down, the bike would just fall apart and explode and I would die. Then after a while, when I crashed the bike, I had to buy a new fender, just basically like replace the bodywork or repair the bodywork. I did a valve job actually, and that's a funny story because basically I felt like the valves were tapping too hard. Like you could hear if you were at the front of the bike, you could hear the valves like tap in away. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should do a valve job. Not only that, but like I said, the bike was still running pretty hot. Of course, I didn't have any point of reference, so I didn't really realize like it's just an air-cooled bike. Of course it's gonna run hot. Take the tank off, take the valve cover off, all that type of shit. And the Honda Rebel is 2 valves per cylinder, so intake, exhaust on both sides. So not complicated at all. It's like, you know, you got 4 valves you gotta adjust. So I had the manual and I had the gauges. Start tinkering around, start unloosening shit. I get the valve clearances right as far as I understand. I slap the cover back on, but I don't tighten it down. It's because I want to do a little dry run of the engine, see if it's running better. So I do a little dry run of the engine before I tighten everything back and put everything back on. And it sounded like a fucking typewriter. Like, it sounded probably 10 times worse than when I took it off. Like when I was originally riding it. After I fixed it, it sounded terrible. It was just like, it sounded like someone took a chainsaw to like corrugated metal. It was not good. And mind you, I'm hot, I'm hungry, I'm sweaty, I'm tired as fuck. And I'm just there like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I slap everything back on, I go inside, and I just go to sleep. And I'm just like, you know what? I fucked up the bike is destroyed. I don't care anymore. There is no hope. There is no way I can come back from that, what I just did. And then I wake up, eat, and you know, now I'm thinking a little bit more rationally, and I'm like, you know what? I'm jumping back into this. So I go outside, take everything back off. I'm like, let's see what we did wrong. Let's try to learn from it. Was the bike at the right timing? Because you have to like find top dead center for each piston before you adjust it. So I go back in, I'm like, all right, time to find the right spot and time to get the right clearances. I go back in, do it for the first cylinder, boop, 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 boop. Go to the second cylinder, boop, 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 boop. Put the cover back on, cross my fingers, start the baby. Sounds perfect. Perfect. And you don't know like the satisfaction that I felt that day. Like I was like, yo, I just adjusted my valves. Like the bike sounded better than when I originally took it off. Of course it sounded better than the first time I fixed it. I mean, this bike is 4 valves per cylinder with 4 cylinders. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm ready to adjust 16 valves. Plus it's like way harder to get to the engine on this. Like you have to take the tank off, you have to take the air box off. You gotta take the spark plugs out. You gotta do a whole lot of shit. Like on the Rebel, everything is just accessible. But yeah, on a Honda Rebel, I rebuilt the entire front end before I sold it. So I replaced the fork seals, took everything off, straightened out the bushings. For the turn signals, I replaced the flasher relays, turn signals, screwed them in. I basically redid the entire rear harness. Cause that bike was so accessible. It was so easy to work on. It was just like, you know, everything is there. By the time I was done with the bike, I basically knew it like the back of my hand. Like, you hand me a Rebel, I could tell you where anything on that bike is. Or, you know, most bikes are from that era. Like, it just made me familiar with, like, you know, 70s, 80s bikes. Like, I just understand what the fuck is going on. This bike I'm a little bit more reluctant to, but, you know, in the case, like, in the case where I had to replace the tires, that's like the most strenuous thing I've ever done on this bike so far. Yeah, I've done oil changes, coolant changes. I had to replace the fuel pump. I'll probably link the video. The fuel pump was leaking like terribly. I didn't know what it was until I got in there and, you know, deduced that it was the fuel pump, because I replaced all the hoses and it was just still leaking. So got a new fuel pump, got in there, got all in the guts, and replaced the fuel pump, and everything was all good. Then my tires got what the fuck? Skirt.